Oh, what is going on, everybody? Jay, what is back at it again, bro? I don't think you'll understand how happy I am to be making a part two of this because whenever I tell you guys, like, I love making videos, like, especially for like just in general, but especially this because Sun Jin Woo, honestly, he's a king. Like, I don't care what y'all have to say about it, but dude, I'm just so happy that I can make these videos because they're just so lit. Like the way I ended off last video, yeah, I bet y'all can't guess what the ship is gonna be. No, I'm playing. But so without further ado, I'm not gonna hold y'all. Hey, wait. Remember, like, subscribe, and comment down below what y'all want me to change about this. Like, come on. Like, I need the feedback. Come on. I'm not trying to force y'all, but like and subscribe. It's free. You can always do it later, but I mean, we all know you guys are gonna come back anyway, so hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for supporting, and without further ado, let's get into it. Yes, sir. We pick our story off from Izuku bumping into a girl with blue hair, and they both apologize and they look into each other's eyes and they're blushing. And Izuku finally he breaks the silence and he's like, "Oh, my name's Izuku, by the way. I'm a first year. I'm in 1A." And she's like, "Oh, my name's Nedre Hado, and I'm actually a third year. It's good to meet you." And she's just playing with her hair. And Mirio and Tamaki see this and they're like, "Oh my gosh, yes, ma'am!" Like, and Mirio and Tamaki they appear and they're like, "Yo, what's good?" And Izuku's just like, "Oh, yo, you guys must be your friends, right?" And they're like, "Yeah, we are. We're just here to say." And Mirio just leans over and he's like, "Yo, you got game, bro. Like, you got that, king." And Izuku's just like, "Hey, you know it." So after this, they just start talking, and Izuku actually finds like Tamaki and Mirio and even like Nedred to be like very like cheerful and very like good friends. So and he looks at his like stats and he looks at the quest and he realizes like, oh, he already completed his quest for today. It was to start his first day of UA, and that was his quest for the day. And so he's like, oh, that was light work. And Mira's just like, wait, what was light work? And he's like, oh, nothing. It's just something like, I might have just like broke the score for the quirk apprehension test that Aizawa has every year, and he's just like low-key flexing, and he's just like, yeah, like not, but he wouldn't say that. He wouldn't say that, but he was just like, oh, it's just part of my quirk. And Mira's like, okay. So they all start walking towards the train because they actually have to all walk the same way. And Bakugo, he finally catches up to him, and he's like, yo, Izuku, what are you doing, bro? Like, why are you hanging out with these guys? And Izuku just looks back. He's like, "Yo, Bakugo, these guys are actually pretty chill. You should come hang out with us." And Bakugo's like, "I bet." So Izuku's like, "Hey, y'all trying to go to the arcade? Like, I mean, I know like we just met, but like y'all trying to be friends and hang out?" And Mirio and Tamaki and Nedry all look at each other and just like, "Heck yeah!" So they go to the arcade and they have a bunch of fun. And Izuku he's spitting game. Like he wins a little like stuffed animal for Nedry. He gives it to her. He's like, "Hey, I want you to have this." And Nedry is just like, "Oh, thank you." Sorry, I probably just butchered the heck out of that. But anyways, so after this, I would say like they're all just hanging out, and finally like Izuku's like, "Oh, yo, I gotta go home. It was nice meeting y'all." And he's like, "Wait, oh yeah, here you go, by the way." And he puts his number into all of their phones, and he's like, "Hey, you guys call me sometime, especially you." And he gives Nedre a little wink, and Mirio's just like, "Oh, that's so tough." And Izuku, he doesn't even realize that he's doing this. Like, and Nedre just goes red, and she just like runs away. Like, if you guys have seen how Char acts with Yami, like that, bro. She just books it, bro. It's kind of funny. Nah, I'm playing. After this, Izuku he goes home and he says hi to his mom and he eats dinner with her and he's like, hey, you want to come work out with me tonight? And Inko's like, yeah, sure, why not? I have some free time. So they go to the gym and they just get a nice little back workout in, and it's actually revealed that Izuku is just like him. Like he goes into the locker room and he just takes his shirt off and he just starts flexing, and his muscles are just massive, but not as massive as the low taper fade. No, I'm playing. Oh gosh, y'all are gonna. Hey, just go ahead, dislike this video right now. I'm playing. But after this, the next day of school rolls around and they just have basic Kira courses. Or do they? All of a sudden, All Might bursts in the room, walking in the door like a normal person. And and he's like, hello, students. And they all just start going crazy. Like Bakugo and Deku are like, yo, All Might, is that you? Like, dang, I didn't know you'd be teaching here. And Almost like, settle down, kiddos. And he just talks to them, and eventually it's like, now, I want you all to meet me outside, and oh yeah, put these on, because as I always say, the clothes make the pros. And everybody, they get their clothes on, it's like the my hero sound. But Izuku, what I would say his costume is I want him to be in a I want him to have his actually no, he doesn't need that. He's gonna be in the if you guys have seen season 2, he's gonna be in that black button down with those black slacks. But it's gonna be like armored, of course. Like it's like Moon Knight's kind of, but it's not like covering his face, but it's a black just a black button down and black slacks. And he's just looking there like buff because it's like tight. And everybody's like, whoa, you look so clean. And he's like, thanks. And after this, like, all the girls are just blushing. They're like, dang, I want him. Like, I'm playing. But after this, All Might's like, so you guys will be doing a hero versus villain 2v2 battle, like mock trial battle. And he's like, and everybody's like, oh yeah. And they're like, wait, we're not gonna get expelled, are we? And Aizawa's like, and All Might's like, no, that's Aizawa's thing. I'm just here to make sure y'all are adept in hero and villain fighting. And everybody's like, wait, hero and villain? And he's like, oh yes. And he explains the whole test, and he's like, oh yeah, everybody, draw lots. And it's actually revealed that the teams are, I'm going to say Todoroki and Kirishima, Bakugo and Deku, and then all the rest fall into place, because that's gonna be the main event. I mean, come on now. After this, what I can see happening is like, it's revealed that Todoroki and Kirishima, they're going to be villains. Yeah. So they're gonna be villains, and Izuku and Bakugo are like, I bet. So what they do is, like, after everything's set up and it's go, they immediately bolt in, and Izuku's faster than Bakugo. Come on now. Like, he just, like, bolts into the room, and he's like, I guess you didn't have time to use that little ice quirk of yours, did you, Todoroki? And Kirishima looks up and is like, how did you manage to find us so fast? And he's like, oh, I just tracked y'all. It's not that hard. And everybody's just like, wait, he can track? And he's like, oh, I said too much. Godski in here. And he says it over the walkie, and he's like, I'm coming. So Bakugo gets there, and he's like, he like punches his hand, and he makes a little explosion. And he's just like, well, you sure didn't waste any time, did you, Deku? And he's like, no, I didn't, Kachan. Now. And he cracks his knuckles, and he cracks his neck, and he starts doing like the Goku jumping up and down warm up. And he's like, let's throw hands, because I'm not trying to hurt y'all. So he puts his daggers back into his system, and he's like, let's throw hands. So immediately he starts running at Kirishima, and Bakugo's running at Todoroki. And this is Deku and Kirishima. So they're just throwing hands like pow, 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 pow. And Kirishima, he's tanking it very slightly, but like he starts chipping. He's like, oh, maximum hardness, ayo. But like he does Red Riot, and or like, yeah, something like that. But like he just like makes his body extremely hard. Pause. But like immediately Deku's like, oh, this is gonna be so much fun. So he starts letting loose, and he just like pow, 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 pow. And mind you, he is just, laying it out on this man, and Kirishima's just having to sit there and take it like a good boy. Nah, I'm playing. I'm playing. But after this, it's cut to the Bakugo and Todoroki fight. And Todoroki, he keeps launching ice, and Bakugo's blowing it up, and he's like, you're not gonna win if you don't use that fire quirk of yours. But even if you did, I guess it wouldn't be too useful, because it would make me sweat more. And he's blowing up the ice, and Todoroki's like, dang it, I can't get to this man. So finally, Bakugo, what he does is, he blindsides Todoroki. Like, he bolts in, he uses an explosion right in his face to like create a mini flashbang. Then he uses explosions going above his head and lands a massive one on his back, sending Todoroki flying into the wall. Where what he would do is, he would coat his body not just in fire but in ice as well, and he would just like walk out of it like, I'm not finished yet. So he would launch fire and ice both at the same time. And mind you, this wasn't something that Todoroki could do until I think about whenever he trained with Endeavor the third or second time. But the reason why is because he's basically unconscious and he's just doing what he feels like he needs to do. So Bakugo, he's like, "Oh, what the heck?" So he's just like ducking and weaving. He's like, "Yo, Deku, I might need some help over here." And Deku's just revealed that, okay. And then he's like, "Oh, Kirishima, it was so much fun. It was so much fun fighting you, but I guess it's time for me to go." So he's like, "Oh, that's so manly." And Izuku just, and he like flash steps and he just knocks Kirishima out with one blow. And he's like, and Kirishima is about to fall, and he's just like, "He could have done that the entire time." And it's just bum, done. And it's revealed that Kirishima was knocked out. And like his final words is like, "That's so manly." And he thuds. And Deku just walks over there and is like, "Oh man, you're really gonna have to make me do this again, Bakugo?" And he's like, and he's just like, "Fine." And like what he does is he summons I'm going to say he uses his darkness ability. I'm not giving him Shadow Monarch because that's just like way too OP. But what I'm gonna say what he does is he can create dark soldiers, but he can't like control it. Do I want to? Yeah. He can. But that's just like a little preview. But what he doesn't have any right now. So what he does is he uses his darkness and he's like, so I would say he just like coats his hands in darkness and he's like, "I bet." So he immediately rushes at Todoroki and he just starts fighting and like boxing this man. And Todoroki's just like, "What?" Oh, blah, blah, blah. And he finally gets knocked out for a second time, and always says, "Hero team wins! Congratulations to Izuku Midoriya and Katsuki Bakugo!" So after this, like Kirishima, like Izuku picks up both Todoroki and Kirishima, carrying him on their back, and he takes them to Recovery Girl, and they go back to the class, and Momo's just talking her stuff, and she's like, "Yeah, that man Izuku over there, he was the MVP for sure. I mean, he took out both the villains, and he did it in a manner that was so swift, and there was really no like casualty either. Like there was no way for them to activate the bomb, and even with all of that happening, I mean, there was really no threat afterwards, and." Momo's just like, "That's my man," and Izuku's just like, "Chill, like, you ain't her, bro." Like, and Momo's like, "Fine, I'll stick to Todoroki." And he's like, "Yeah, you will." No, I'm playing. But after this, I can see, what I can see happening is, All Might, he was like, "Young Midoriya, let me talk to you in the hall for just a second." So they walk off, and All Might's like, "I see you're very powerful, and I have an offer to make, because I heard you're technically quirkless, but you have a, what, system quirk, as you said?" And he's like, "Yeah, no, it's just like a daily system, it's just a daily quest quirk, and I can adjust stats however I want, so I can either make myself, like, 1,000,000 times stronger than the normal person, or 1,000,000 times faster." So, I mean, it's really just, like, or I can balance it all out, and, I mean, realistically, I could probably beat you in one hit if I wanted to, but and always just like has a shiver running down his spine. And he's just like, "Okay, young Midoriya. Now, back to what I was trying to say." And so he brings up One for All, and he's like, "Now, young Midoriya, I would like to grant you the honor of having this quirk, if you so choose." And Deku's just like, "Let me think about it." He thinks for like 2 seconds, like tapping his chin. He's like, "Nah, I'm good." And I was just like, "You're turning down this power? Fine, but I mean, now that you know, I mean, who would you suggest?" And he's just like, "Katsuki Bakugo, he has a good heart, and honestly, I don't see any other person being worthy enough to wield it. Maybe Mirio, I know you've had your sights set on him for a while, because he's talked about it quite a bit." And All Might's just like, "He talked about what?" And Deku's just like, "Yeah, no, he just talked about the fact that you were helping him train, and me and Bakugo thought that was cool, but..." And he was like, "Yes, I didn't originally intend to give him One for All. However, after seeing your performance, I had to offer it to you and young Bakugo as well. I mean, he had an incredible performance as well. So, do you suggest Bakugo?" And he's like, "I mean, I can't tell you who to go with, but I mean, Mirio or Bakugo, that's your best shot. Or give it to somebody without a physical quirk that obviously has promise." And All Might's just thinking about it, and he's like, "Somebody who doesn't have a physical quirk but has promise?" And he's just like, "Yeah, I mean, somebody like a mind control quirk that wants to be a hero." And he just says this like kind of blatantly, and All Might's just like, "Let me think about it." So the next like 2 weeks go by, and finally Bakugo comes in the like All Might calls Bakugo and Deku into the room, and they're in the room, and he brings up one for all the Bakugo, and Bakugo like Deku kicks Bakugo under the table like, yes, take it. So Bakugo does. So, and he's talking to All Might, and they're like, well, I don't see any reason why I have to train you any extra. I mean, you both are very fit. And All Might's just like, so I feel that you might be able to use at least about 20% of my power. And Bakugo's just like, oh, that's not that bad. And Izuku's just like, I take it, bro. And after this, I could see Bakugo taking it and getting the quirk, and he works with All Might for the next like 2 weeks, and or like the next week, and he figures out full cowling. So he has full cowling about 25%. So since Bakugo can use about 20%, I can see him actually already being able to use Black Whip, and I think he would also be able to use hold on. I think he would also be able to use Float. He would be able to use Black Whip and Float, and then he would also be able to use Danger Sense. So he could use all three of those. Actually, I'm gonna say 30%, because I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So at like 30%, he can use 30%. We're just gonna round up. After this, what I could say is so we're here. Okay. So the next day in class, it's actually revealed that they're going to the USJ, and everybody's like, what? We're going to Universal Studios Japan? And they're like, that's so cool. And I was always just like, nah, we're going to the unforeseen simulation joint. And everybody's like, dang it, but that still sounds cool. So after this, what I can see happening is, after this, like everybody, they get their slip signed, and after this, they finally make it to the USJ, and whenever this happens, Izuku, he feels like an uneasy presence, and it cut back to the bus. Actually, I did kind of skip past this, and everybody's just talking, and Suyu was just like, well, it has to be Todoroki, doesn't it? I mean, he has to be the strongest. He has 2 different types of quirks, and everybody's just like, dude, did you not see what Izuku did to this man? And she's like, yeah, but I mean, Todoroki was barely even conscious. And Izuku's like, nah, I'm definitely the strongest. I will give it to Todoroki that he might be the second, maybe third strongest, but first, I'm not so sure about that. And everybody's like, whoa, cocky much? And he's like, nah, I'm just telling the truth. I mean, realistically, I think I am the strongest, yes, but I'm probably not pro hero level. Clearly lying out of his teeth, because he just doesn't want to have to admit that to everyone. That realistically, he doesn't even have to go to UA. If he just talked to Nezu, he could get his pro hero license then and there. But he at least wants to be alongside his friend, After this, they all go in, and Izuku's feeling this uneasy, and 13's giving her regular boring speech about how quirks can hurt and they have to be used correctly and blah blah blah. So after this, Hiroshima's like, whoa, they have fake villains too? And immediately Aizawa was like, those aren't fakes. Ida, go get All Might. So immediately Ida runs out, and he runs to UA. And Izuku's like, ooh, I want a piece of this. And Aizawa was like, no, kid, you must stay back. And Bakugo and Izuku are like, screw that. So they both jump down and they start helping Aizawa, and he's like, fine, but if you get hurt, that's not on me. So they just start boxing these people, and Deku and Bakugo, they're doing better, like about the same as Aizawa, if not a little better. And all the students are just like, wait, what? And Shigaraki's just like, Kurogiri, what are you doing? Go teleport those kids away. And finally, all of 1A gets TP'd away except for Bakugo and Izuku, and Shigaraki's like, I meant the other 2 that are helping that pro hero, Eraserhead. And Kurogiri's like, but sir, if I did that, it might TP the villains as well. We need all the villain help we can get. And Shigaraki's like, you're so useless, Kurogiri. What do I even have you for if you can't do a simple task like that? And Kurogiri's like, I'm sorry, master, but for your sake, please, entertain me and my thoughts. And Shigaraki's like, fine, but if we lose due to those kids, it's your fault. And finally, it's actually revealed that they have at least 75% of the villains done, and All Might's and Ida's like about 75% of the way there. So, yeah. After this, Shigaraki's like, no, it's not fair. Nomu, kill those kids. Finally, the Nomu's just like, Like he just screams and he starts like, and he rushes at Izuku and Bakugo and like and Aizawa, and Aizawa cancels out the quirk, and he goes to punch Izuku, and Izuku just sidesteps and he's like, not so fast. So Izuku goes pow pow pow, and he hits Nomu 3 times in the gut, and Nomu's just like, what? Like he just screams again. And he's like, and Shigaraki's like, what? He dodged. It must have been a Eraserhead. Yeah, must have been. So finally, Izuku's like, okay. And he pulls out both of his daggers and he just like stabs them into the Nomu's head and he just rips it. And now the Nomu's head is in half horizontally, not vertically, but horizontally, if you know what I'm talking about. And Shigaraki's like, what? That kid, this can't be fair. So he starts scratching his neck and he's like, Kurogiri, get another one. And Kurogiri's like, but sir, they're not ready yet. And Shigaraki's like, I know you're right. Just get me out of here. But right as Kurogiri's about to TP him away, Bakugo lands a massive explosion on the metal part of Kurogiri's neck. Like, only by luck finding. He's like, not so fast, villains. And finally, All Might pops in. He's like, I am here. But he's not smiling. And immediately, he jumps down and he's about to land a massive blow on Shigaraki, but what happens is, like, Kurogiri got up, because what I could see happening is he would TP Bakugo away using his hand, and, like, I'm not saying, like, Bakugo, whenever he saw All Might, he would have, like, stuttered in his, like, explosion, so he just stopped. And after this, he would TP Shigaraki away, and All Might's just like, dang it, he got away. So after this, what I can see happening is Bakugo checks on the 2 kids and is like, why were you 2 helping? Aizawa clearly didn't need it. And he's just like, and they both look at each other and they're just like, dude, if we weren't here, Aizawa would be cooked. And All Might's just like, what do you mean? I mean, he did most of this himself, right? And he's like, and Aizawa's like, no, realistically, I think I only took down about like 15% of the villains, and they took down the rest of the 60. And All Might's just like, dang, how powerful do I make these kids? And like referring to Bakugo, and he's like, dang, these kids are way too powerful. So after this, what I can see happening is they all return to school, and since there was no like injuries or anything, I can see them all returning to school the next day, and they talk about it, and they're like, but if you need any help or like mental health or anything, just go and see. We will not hold you against it. And the only person that takes this is Mineta, because he's like, those villains, they almost hurt us. They almost hurt us all. And I don't really know how to do a Mineta voice, but I was just like, whatever, this kid. So eventually after this, like about a month goes by, and Bakugo, he gets about 40% so he can use Smoke Screen now. He has Black Whip, Smoke Screen, Danger Sense, and Float, leaving only Fajin and Gear Shift, which is going to come a lot later down, like about like the 80s, like, or not 80s, but like 70s into the 100s. Because I know Gear Shift took Deku until 100. But Fajin is probably going to take him until about 75, 80. So after this, what I could see happening is Aizawa being like, kids, listen up. We're going to be having a little bit of a sports festival. I know you guys have probably heard of it before, and everyone's like, what? We're doing the sports festival? And he's like, yes, we do it every year, so it's a requirement. And after this, you guys are going to be doing internships with pro heroes that think that you are exceptional in your abilities. And everybody's like, whoa, that's so cool. So he's like, it starts in 2 weeks. And right, class ends, and he's like, there's the bell. Everybody go home. I'm going to sleep. And he immediately gets in his sleeping bag and he just passes out. So Deku is just like, oh, fine. I'll go. Maybe I'll hang out with, like, Nejire. So he's, like, texting on his phone. And he's about to walk out of the door. Whenever he bumps into Monoma. And Monoma is just like, you really bumped into me, didn't you? And he touches Izuku on the shoulder, like, trying to copy his quirk. And he's just like, wait, a blank slate? And he's just like, maybe it's a mutation. And he looks at Izuku and he realizes, like, dang, wait, he doesn't look any different. And he's just like, maybe it's something hidden? And he brushes it off, and Kendo smacks him on the head and is like, say sorry, Monoma. And Izuku's like, no, it was all me. And he looks at Kendo, and she looks at him, and she's like, Dang. And she starts blushing. She's like, yeah, it's fine. This dummy doesn't know where to go anyways. And they all just start laughing. And Izuku's like, well, I'll catch you guys later. And make sure you guys let them leave. And after this, like, they all like leave, and all the girls are just like fawning over Izuku, and Bakugo and Izuku just walk out, and Bakugo's like, I hate it how you've always been able to do that our whole lives. And Deku's just like, you know. And he's like, well, not our whole lives, but you know. But Bakugo's just like, whatever, nerd. So after this, they meet up with Nejire, Mirio, and Tamaki, and they all go back to the arcade. And after, but like, you know, Nejire and Izuku, they sneak off, and they just like, you know, just talk, and they're just playing their own games. You know, they go down the lovers booth, if you know what I mean. And this is where Izuku asks to take her on a date, and she agrees, of course. So it's actually revealed that like a week before the sports festival, they go on their date, and it's perfect. Like, Izuku is exactly what Izuku wanted, you know, and it's exactly what Nejire wanted. It was like the most amount of enjoyment you could get from a date. So after this, I can see him taking her to for dinner, you know, going bowling, you know, just probably not going for like going to the beach, you know, just hanging out, like watching the oceans and just chilling and talking. After this, what I can see happening is the sports festival happening, and Midnight's like, UA fans, are you ready for this first year sports festival? And everybody's like, whoa, Midnight, we love you, rah. After this, she's like, well, thank you all so much for the love and applaud, but let's hear it for our number one scorer in our entrance exam, Izuku Midoriya. And we're just like, yeah, let's hear it. And Izuku, he walks up there and he's like, thank you all, thank you, thank you, thank you. My name is Izuku. I just want to say thank you all so much for the support. Hey, I want everybody to know I'm gonna win this for all of you guys, but I want you guys to know that whatever you guys do, do it to the best of your ability and go plus ultra. And everybody's like, yeah, let's all go plus ultra for this festival. And after this, what I can see happening is Izuku, like, Midnight comes back up and is like, what a speech from our number one entrance exam scorer. Now, let's reveal what the first bout is going to be. And it's like ding 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 ding. So finally it's revealed that they're going to be doing a race. And Izuku's like, oh, I bet. So he immediately like uses one of his stat resets. He puts it all into strength, speed, and durability. Mostly into speed though. So he gets on the line and he immediately, and he gets to the final line and he's just chilling there and he's just like, man, when is Bakugo going to appear? And then like he waits like 2 minutes and is like, where's Bakugo? And he finally hears, Deku! Why'd you leave so without me, bro? Like, dang, Todoroki almost froze me. And he's just like, really? If you would have lost to him, bro, I would have laughed in your face. And they both walk together to the finish line, and he bumps like Bakugo forward, letting him take first place. And after this, what I can see happening is Izuku being like, go ahead, number one. I mean, you're the one who said you wanted to be the number one hero anyways. I can't let you fail this bad. You are the successor for. And he's like, dude, don't say that. What if somebody heard you? And you're just like, dude, come on. We're alone in this tunnel. But somebody did hear him. Nah, I'm playing. But after this, like, Bakugo, he gets number one. He gets to 10 million. And finally, Midnight's like, what a race! And everybody just is in canon, except it goes Bakugo, Deku, Todoroki, and then everybody else falls to canon. After this, I can see the teams going about something like Izuku, Bakugo, Uraraka, and Momo. We're going to say that's a team, and then everybody else fall suit. We're going to say they put they put Uraraka on top. And Izuku's just like, we really just need to defend ourselves. And Bakugo's like, yeah. And he's just like, okay, so what we need to make a plan. So, wait, was there 5 people? I think it was 5-man teams. Yeah, because they had total. No, I think it was 3-man. I don't know. I don't remember, but I think it was 4-man teams. But that's the team, and I don't really like covering the cavalry battle. I don't know if I've expressed that enough. However, I'm just gonna say they pass and they get first place because, you know. So everybody in canon passes as usual. So the first fight is going to be Shinso versus Deku. And I can actually see Ojiro like walking up to Deku and be like, yo, hey, Izuku, watch out for that kid. He has a mind control quirk. I said one thing to him, like answering his question, and I immediately like lost my ability to be conscious. And Izuku's just like, whatever. And like he brushes it off and he gets on the podium, he's waving at the fans and everybody's like, yeah, Izuku, Izuku, Izuku. And after this, Izuku's just like, calm down, calm down. And he sees the blue haired girl in the stands and you're just like, hey, Nejire, watch this fight. And he winks at her and she just starts blushing. And because it's revealed that like 30 years ago, a little bit later, or they went first or something. I don't, whatever. But after this, what I can see happening is Shinso steps on the stage and he's like, what does it feel like to be born with such a powerful quirk and have so many fangirls in the fans? And Izuku's just like, do I want to talk some smack to him? And he just says to the system, he's like, yo, if I get brainwashed, can you put me out of it? And the system is like, yes, we can. However, if you do it more than twice, we cannot help you after that. So he's like, I bet then. So he's like, yeah, no, I wasn't exactly born with a quirk, but like, I'm just that guy, you know? And it feels nice to have those fangirls, you know? And Shinso just was like, wait, why is my quirk not working on him? And it's revealed that it did work once, and it just immediately snapped him out of it. So after this, Izuku's like, you know, I would drag this fight out. However, realistically, nah, I'm good. So immediately he just speed blitzes him using his speed and he just knocks him out with one hit. And he's just like, man, if I can do this for the entire finals, one hit. So he's like, so he just yells to the crowd. He's like, are you not entertained? And he's like, hey, if I defeat everybody in one hit, you all got to go like and subscribe to J What Ifs. So after this, what I can see happening is Izuku goes back in and he helps Shinso up and he's like, hey, sorry for doing that to you. And Shinso's like, how? And he's just like, oh yeah. So I technically have a quirk, but I wasn't born with it. It wasn't that I was given it. I was kind of more, you know, granted it. And he's just like, what do you mean? And he just goes into like how he's just like, I don't really know. It's kind of just a system quirk. And he's just like, oh, okay. And he's just like, so you basically got isekai for like while you were in the coma. And he's just like, I guess you could say that. So after this, Izuku, he goes back into the changing room and Todoroki declares war on him. And Izuku's just like, dude, come on. You know you're not winning. And you know, even if we go against each other, I'm winning in one hit. And it's revealed that Todoroki and Deku go up against each other. And he's just like, dang, I gotta be in one hit? That's light work, but like, bro. So he just like maxes out his stamina, his strength, and he maxes out his strength and speed. After this, what I can see him happening is Todoroki, and he's just waving at, like, Deku's waving at the fans, and Todoroki has an angry look, and he's just like, you know, I'll let you get 3 hits on me, but you have to use your fire, because guess what? It's not your dad's work, it's yours. I don't know why you're so obsessed with that fact. And Todoroki's like, not my dad quirk? What? And he just starts going monkey brain. He's like, fine, I guess I won't let you hit me. So he's just speed blitzes them, knocking him out in one hit. And everybody's just like, dang, he's following up to his word though. After this, Izuku and Todoroki talk in the locker room. And he's just like, dad, not my quirk? What? Huh? And Izuku's just like, I might have broken him. So he just passes him on the back and he's like, look, bro, you're not going to be able to surpass him if you are not able to use both. You are granted such a powerful quirk. Look, your fire, it can keep you from cooling. It can keep you from cooling out. And if, like, freezing yourself. And your ice keeps you from overheating. So consider that. Your dad also has a problem of overheating. Trust me. I watched him fight a lot. And that's a lot of his problem is that he overheats himself a lot. And Todoroki's still just like, not his quirk is mine. And Izuku's just like, whatever. I hope that would do too. And after this, what I could see happening is Izuku, he goes back out waving to the crowd, and Bakugo's doing the same, and they're just like, and they just dap each other up, and they're just like, well, this is the final battle. And Izuku's just like, do I want to let you win? And Bakugo's like, if you let me win, I swear I'm going to make you pay after this. And he's just like, wait, pay for what? And he's like, you're paying for dinner for the next week if you actually don't try. And he's just like, I mean, like, I could because I'm banded up like that, but like, nah, I'm good. So after this, Izuku just like, okay, so do you want me to end this fast, or do you want me to break my promise to the crowd? And he's just like, if you want to try. And Bakugo should not have said that, because next thing he knows, he's in Recovery Girl's office. And it's revealed that he got second place, Izuku got first, and Todoroki got third. And he's just standing there like, not his quirk, mine? Huh? Not quirk his, quirk it, mine? What? And after this, Izuku's just waving to the crowd, and so is Bakugo. They dab each other up, and Bakugo's like, dang, why'd you have to take me out so fast? I didn't even get to show myself. And he's just like, dude, come on, really? And he's just like, fine, I guess I did show myself in that race, but like, and he's just like, there you go. Besides, All Might probably has something for you anyways. And Todoroki just snaps out of it and is like, wait, All Might has something for you? And Izuku's just like, don't worry about it, bro. Let's just say All Might, Bakugo, and I are just, we're chilling, and he's helping us train. And Todoroki's like, do you think he could help me train? And he's like, yeah, I don't see why not. And after this, they all go back up to class, and Midnight comes into the door, and they're like, another guest appearance? And Midnight's like, it's time for you all to choose your hero names. And that is where the screen cuts to black. Thank you all so much for watching What If Deku Had a Solo Leveling System Quirk? Part 2? Yeah, part 2. Oh man, this video is so hype. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys are having a wonderful night, a wonderful day. And yeah, so peace out. Just like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Leave a comment what you guys want me to make his hero name as well. So anyways, peace.